you have pain in your life, there are issues and topics that you avoid on purpose because you know that only brings back some of the pain. It's time that you maybe face those things and stop living with that pain. We're going to talk about that today. Stay tuned. So here's the deal with your pain. You don't want to deal with it. You avoid it. That's what we do as human beings. We avoid pain and we pursue pleasure. I'll never forget leaving the marital home and moving 1 mile away from the marital home so I could be close to my family. Moving into an apartment. I overstayed my stay in that apartment. As long as I was there, that was kind of like the place, that would be, that apartment would be comparable to a recovery room after surgery or a rehab after you're in the hospital. But before they discharge you to go home, you go in the rehab until you can walk on your own and you see the physical therapists and so forth. And then you're allowed to go home. I overstayed in that apartment like somebody who would overstay in a rehab or a recovery room. And I don't want you to do that. You hear me? Can you imagine being in a rehab, having orthopedic surgery done, and then the doc says you can't leave until you can walk on your own? And you're there for a month, couple months or whatever, and you're in a wheelchair and you're going for physical therapy, and then finally the big day you get a walker and then maybe a crutch, and then you're walking around holding your IV stand, with your IV drip, in your arm. And there's progress. And then comes the day you swing your legs out of bed, you stand up on your own, you go to the bathroom on your own. And the doctor says, all right, well, you're doing well. Looks like you'll be discharged by the end of the week. Looks like everything's going to be okay. And then the end of the week comes and the doc says, all right, today's the day of your discharge. And you say, can I just stay here a little bit longer? And he says, why? Because I like it here. It's nice. It's safe. I can get around easy. I know everybody. Everybody knows me. And he says, no, you have to leave. You can now walk on your own. After crises happen in your life, do you stay in the recovery room? Do you stay in the rehab? Because when you have a crisis in life, there's not a doctor that says, as of Friday, you're going to be discharged. There's no one kicking you out in life. And I overstayed in that apartment. I was there 9 years when I should have been there only 2 years. 9 years. I overstayed it by 7 years. It's not just weeks and months. It's years that we refuse to change. It becomes years that we choose the familiar, the comfortable. Where are you in recovery and in rehab right now in your life? And do you have people that are just encouraging you to stay there? They are your enemy. I don't care if they are family or friends. They are the enemy. You need to be surrounding yourself with people like the doctor that says, Friday, you're getting discharged. You can now walk on your own. And even though you're not 100% confident, you're getting discharged on Friday. Life is like that. But we nurse the pain. We tell our stories. We learn to encapsulate our stories over and over and over, whether it be death or divorce or losing a job or losing a limb or losing ability and becoming disabled, going through wacky relationship garbage. Did you ever scrape your knee when you were a kid and your mama would put a Band-Aid on your knee and you would go to take that Band-Aid off, or on your elbow you start ripping the Band-Aid off, and she would say, if you keep playing with it, it's not gonna heal. Well, that's what it's like physically. You have to give things, physical ailments, injuries, and wounds, you really do have to give them time to heal. And there's times where you look under the Band-Aid to see what the wound looks like. And see if it still hurts. See if it still hurts. Let me tell you something. When it comes to emotional stuff, rip the friggin' Band-Aid off. Take it off. Get rid of the Band-Aid. It's gonna hurt. There are gonna be scars. But the truth, when your wounds and your scars and your injuries are exposed to truth, only then can you experience freedom. Only then. It's like looking in the mirror and you're like you don't want to see what you look like. You don't want to see the pain. So you stay in safe little areas, little pockets of your life, and create comfort zones. And you know, I told you this, that all your growth happens outside of that comfort zone, not within it. Years go by. You become gray. Gray. No one teaches you this stuff. There are people who sit in the dark for decades, nursing wounds. Rip the damn Band-Aid off. Let it see the light of day. Let it see the fresh air. Let the sunshine hit those emotions that are so scarred and so wounded and so hurting. That is the only way you're going to heal. You don't have to walk with a limp. You don't have to live with a limp because you got hurt somehow, some way. And guess what? Even the most competent, clean-cut executive types watching this right now, the most together people, have little areas that they walk or live with a limp in. And it's time to shut that down and move forward. And that's what getting unstuck is all about. I hope that helps at least one person. Get out there and do it. I know you can, because I believe in you. I'm dead serious. Go and do it.